Let's slow everything down for a moment. Because the truth is, real love doesn't live in noise. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't chase attention. And it doesn't need constant reassurance to survive. Most men are taught to look for signals, a text, a smile, a sudden burst of affection. But signals fade, patterns don't. Love isn't something you feel once, it's something you experience repeatedly, in behavior, in consistency, in the way someone treats you when there's nothing to gain. Today, we're not talking about attraction, we're not talking about chemistry, and we're definitely not talking about excitement. We're talking about something deeper, something quieter. 8 things a woman does only when she truly loves a man. Not when she's curious. Not when she's lonely. Not when she needs validation. When she loves him. Point 1. Nurturing without asking. When a woman loves you, care stops being performative. It becomes instinct. She doesn't wait for you to ask. She doesn't keep score. She doesn't announce what she's doing. She notices when your energy shifts, when your mind is heavy, when something is off, even if you haven't said a word. Not because she's trying to control you, but because your well-being matters to her. This isn't about roles. It's not about submission. It's about emotional investment. A woman in love pays attention to the small fractures in your life, the stress you carry quietly, the fatigue you normalize, and the most important part? She does it when no one is watching, because love doesn't seek applause. It seeks alignment. Point 2. Protecting your name. Anyone can be kind to your face. That costs nothing. The truth shows up when your name enters a room you're not in. A woman who loves you doesn't stay silent while others disrespect you. She doesn't laugh at jokes that tear you down. She doesn't expose your weaknesses to feel included. She understands something most people don't. A man's reputation is part of his backbone. When she protects your name, she's protecting her choice. Because if she truly loves you, your success, your character, your integrity, reflect back on her. And she treats that seriously. Point 3. Emotional exclusivity before titles. Real love doesn't wait for labels. It moves internally first. Before there's a conversation, before there's a title, her behavior starts to shift. She pulls away from unnecessary attention. She disengages from conversations that don't honor the bond. She doesn't entertain options just in case. Not because you demanded it, not because you monitored her, but because in her mind, you're already chosen. This is the difference between a woman who wants options and a woman who has clarity. Love simplifies. It doesn't complicate. Point 4. Alignment without control. A woman in love doesn't compete with your purpose. She doesn't see your ambition as abandonment. She doesn't try to shrink your world to feel secure. Instead, she learns your rhythm. She understands when silence isn't distance, it's focus. She respects your routines, your discipline, your grind. But here's what makes it real. She doesn't disappear into you. She keeps her identity, her standards, her direction. And because of that, when she stands beside you, it feels like partnership, not pressure. Point 5. Peace over chaos. Love doesn't keep your nervous system on edge. It doesn't make you guess. It doesn't play hot and cold. It doesn't punish you with distance to prove a point. A woman who loves you becomes emotionally predictable in the best way. You know where you stand. You know what she means. You know she won't disappear when things get quiet. Peace isn't boring, it's stability. And stability is what allows a man to build. Point 6. Seeing your darkness and staying. She sees your flaws, your doubts, your fatigue. She sees you without the armor, and she doesn't lose respect. She doesn't weaponize your vulnerability later. She doesn't use your past against you when emotions rise. She understands something important. Strength isn't perfection, it's endurance. A woman who loves you doesn't need you flawless. She needs you honest and committed to growth. That kind of loyalty can't be faked. Point 7. Respecting boundaries. A woman who loves you respects your boundaries. She doesn't guilt you for needing space. She doesn't retaliate when you say no. She doesn't test your limits to measure your devotion. She understands that boundaries aren't rejection. They're structure. And structure is what allows love to last. If someone punishes you for having limits, they don't love you. They need you. Point 8. Consistency over intensity. Real love isn't dramatic. It's reliable. No constant threats of leaving. No emotional roller coasters. No disappearing acts. She chooses you on calm days, on boring days, on days where nothing exciting happens. Because love isn't built in adrenaline, it's built in repetition. And when love is real, it doesn't distract a man. It anchors him. Closing line. So ask yourself this, brother. Does her presence bring clarity or chaos? Because when love is real, you don't feel pulled apart. You feel grounded.
The angels up in the clouds are jealous, know what we thought.